Hi, I'm Dilker, and today what I'd like to do is show you how to make some cords using this little thing. It's called a Spinster. But before we get into actually showing that, some of you may know me from one of my other endeavors, which is called Make More Money Making Jewelry. And it's a business course for the jewelry designer. And this particular technique is really something that if you're in the business of trying to make a business out of and make money making handmade jewelry, a technique here that can really help you add a little bit of zip to your designs at a very, very low cost with a very, very high perceived value. So, without any further ado, let me get you started on using the Spinster cord maker. Okay, so let me get you started. This is sort of like a refresher course, doing it without any beads. Let's talk a little bit about how much material you need. To make a bracelet, this is 3mm silk, and you need, in order to do it this way, twice as much of the length of the bracelet plus a little bit more. So I've started with about 14 inches on both of my colors of silk here, and I've just tied them into loops. So what I'm going to do is, you have to have an anchor point of some kind, and I've just used shower curtain hooks here and anchored it on the end of the table. You want to make sure you've got the knot in one end and the knot in the other end. You don't want those knots to fall out in the center of your cord. And all I'm going to do is turn this. And I'll usually count it and turn it maybe, anywhere from 35 to 50 times on something this size. But you can kind of get a feel for it as it tightens up. Now, if I were to let this go, right now, if I were to just take the Spinster off and let this go, the tension would just unravel the whole thing. So what I want to do is fold this in half so that the tension on this half is turning in what we call an S direction. And when I fold this, it'll reverse it and put it in a Z direction. So if I just put that hook in the center and keep that tension on it, and then release this hook, and then just let it go turn. What will happen, because I've got the Z twist and the S twist, that cord just lays straight. So, and I can just I can actually let it go and it doesn't come undone. Now, I want to show you how to do it with beads, because what happens is, a lot of people will say to me, oh, but I don't understand how to do it with beads. Don't the beads slide around the cording? And the answer is yes and no. The beads are hitchhikers. So in this one, which is this little bracelet right here, what I've done is I've taken some fire polish and actually knotted them on the cord at 1/4 inch increments. And I'm going to put it together with a piece of, this is silk and nylon that's been knitted for me. And what I'm going to do is tie the silk and the nylon together, just in an overhand knot. You just need to make sure that goes. And I've already put a loop in the end there, and I've got a loop. So I turn it over here. You want that to be pretty much even tension, and then tie an overhand knot in this end as well. So now what I have is a piece of beaded cord and a piece of non-beaded cord together. And I'm going to just tie a loop in this S-line, put that on the hook. And it's the exact same thing. Now what will happen on this, these beads can't really go anywhere because I have them pre-knotted. Okay, now, same thing. I'm going to just fold it in half, pull that out, let it go twist. And what I end up with is, now, because this is just a demo, I'm not doing these to length. I end up having to go kind of out of the camera shot. But I just want to show you that you end up with this beautiful little piece of cording that has your beads in it. So one other time that I want to show you with beads is when the beads are not knotted. And what I've done with this is I've taken about a yard of the Tex 210 Eslon. I have loaded one 20-inch strand of size 8 Japanese seed beads on it. And in the middle of that, I have put a piece of wire because this is where it would need to go into the end caps. Now, because the tension on the cording takes up some space, I've left about 2 or 3 inches on each end of this so that the beads have some place to go when I start working on this tension. So what I'm going to do is put this in here. Let's put that on there. I've already put my my loops on the end of this one. And I'm just going to start twisting this. Now this is a single strand of Eslon with a single strand of beads on it. What's going to happen when I fold it in half is I'll get a double strand of beads. Okay, now you want to be careful that you don't let this go because it'll come back and snap you. Now this one's got this piece of wire in the middle, so I'm just going to use that as my anchor point. Just pull that off. Let it twist. And notice that that twist doesn't come undone. So when you see those really elaborate necklaces that have maybe 8 or 10 strands of pearls that are all twisted together, it's a variation on this theme of what they're doing. So now what I would do with this is just finish it the same way that I would finish any other textile technique. This one happens to have pinch glue ends on it, and this one happens to have some cones on it. But that's really all there is that you need to know to get started with doing cord making. So it's a quick, easy way to make your pieces look great and stand out from the crowd. I hope you'll give it a try. If you have any other questions on it, you can always see me when I'm on Jewelry Television's JTV, or you can email me at ann@makemoremoneymakingjewelry.com. Thanks.